Hello guys, today we're going to be reacting to Tyler Vitelli. Here we go. Like and subscribe, don't forget.
Kids in 2026 are cooked, but the reason why they're cooked comes down to one word: brain rot. Whether that means being addicted to iPads or learning how to vape before learning multiplication, brain rot has gone too far. So today we're gonna
I will find this video and I will not say this is copy. It is private, so no one's allowed to see it. And here we go. Let's watch it.
This might be niche, but
Kids
what
then,
do I do with
kids
all
now,
this
but
extra
we'll watch
yarn?
it today.
I bought way too much for a crochet project last year. But
Here we go.
Anything, I could get used to this.
So then, when it was all over and people were expected to go,
Wait, this is...
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
kids in 2026 are cooked, but the reason why they're cooked comes down to one word: brain rot. Whether that means being addicted to iPads or learning how to vape before learning multiplication, brain rot has gone too far. So today, we're gonna talk about how kids in 2026 act, some of the scary interactions I've had with kids in this generation, and my plan to solve their brain rot issue. But the reason I had the idea to make this video in the first place is because of an interaction I had last week. When I was at a restaurant, and at the table next to me, there's a kid who cannot be older than like 4 years old. But this kid had an iPad propped up against the ketchup bottle like it's a home theater, and he has a cartoon playing on full volume with no headphones. But the insane part about this was the whole restaurant is just eating their food like this is normal. No one's even glancing over towards this iPad infant. So I'm sitting next to him, but then the worst possible thing that could have happened. His iPad died. And this kid, who couldn't even talk yet, let out a scream so loud that I thought somebody got stabbed. I'm talking full on. All because his screen just went dark. So what do you think happened next? A, the parents consoled the kid and tried to calm him down. B, they told the kid to stop screaming because they're in a restaurant and that's not what you're supposed to do. Or C, they went outside to not cause a disturbance. Well, if you guessed A, B, or C, you would be wrong. Because the actual thing that happened next is the parents opened their duffel bag, pull out a different iPad, and hand it over to him. They turned it on, the kid started playing the cartoon again, and just like that, he wasn't screaming anymore. They were carrying a second iPad like it was an EpiPen.
Listen, in case of emergency, deploy the iPad mini.
And that was...
Okay, man. We need to talk about this weird thing you do by saying that stuff.
The moment I realized kids in 2026 are a different breed. We often call this younger generation iPad kids, but honestly, that's not even an accurate description of them. Because an iPad kid isn't a kid with an iPad. An iPad kid is a kid who is the iPad. You take the screen away and there's nothing going on up there. It's like unplugging something from the wall. The lights just completely go off in their head. But the thing is, it's not the kid's fault at all. The kid was handed a glowing rectangle before he could hold his own head up. He came into this world, opened his eyes, and the first thing he saw wasn't his mother's face. No, it was a YouTuber yelling, "Don't forget to like and subscribe." But it's not even normal videos they're watching. When I was a kid, we were watching stuff like SpongeBob, Elmo, that's low-key the only ones I can remember. But at least there was a story to these shows. These kids are watching content that looks like it was generated by a fever dream. It'll be some creepy head inside a toilet talking in a non-understandable language with a bunch of bright colors going off and sound effects that overstimulate you until it feels like your head is going to explode. And they're designed that way for a reason, because it's perfectly made to be addicting. So you would think,
man, that's a pretty big issue. But if we could just take away these kids' technology, we solve the problem, right?
well, no, because we've got an even bigger problem than the iPads. Because you'll see the local elementary school be getting out of class and they'll have these little sticks in their hand that they suck on. No, it's not a lollipop. No, it's not a Sharpie. It's a vape. The second they're old enough to walk into a bathroom by themselves, they're vaping. I wouldn't be surprised if I went to McDonald's tomorrow and the toy they gave you with a kid's meal was an icy mint flavored vape. That's where we're at now. One kid commented on my video before saying that vaping has gotten so bad at his school that they're installing vape detectors in the bathrooms now. What's the difference between a vape detector and a smoke detector? The world may never know. But that's where we're at now. And listen, I know how I sound right now. I sound like somebody's dad. I sound like the old man that yells at clouds. But I'm not that old. That's what's scary.
13-minute skip. To 13 minutes and 22 seconds.
The phones. Can anybody answer this for me? I have the answer, and it's not very hard. The answer is the parents. But what makes this generation of parents so different from other generations to where all the children now are suffering from a brain rot epidemic? The difference is that now there are Gen Z parents. The people raising these kids are a part of my generation. That's what makes it terrifying. Because I want you to really sit with the fact that people my age are parents right now. Like, just imagine if I had a child. Seriously, picture me right now responsible for for keeping a small human alive.
Okay.
Take a second to have that thought in your head. Now you see the fear. Now you get why this is so terrifying. Because as you all know, I can barely keep myself alive. I can never take care of a little kid. But the reason people my age might not be the most suited to raise kids is because, as I've been saying, all of my generation are addicted to their phones. So now we've got addicts raising other addicts. And you can see just how wild these Gen Z parents are by the names they're giving their kids. I'm talking about names that sound like a password you'd make up. I heard a mom in the grocery store the other day go,
Rocket, get over here.
Rocket was her son's actual name. And don't get me wrong, Rocket is a great name if you're a raccoon in a Disney movie, but it's a horrible name for a human child who has to one day put that on his resume. Hi, I'm Rocket. I'm here for the interview. You're not getting hired. But it gets worse. About 2 years ago, someone I know named their child Absidy. Now you may think,
That's not the worst name ever. Absidy sounds kind of pretty. It's not a horrible name.
now you may think,
You know what? That's not the worst name ever. Absidy sounds kind of pretty.
I agree with you. It's not a horrible name if it weren't for the fact that her name was literally spelled A-B-C-D-E. So when you sound it out, it's Absidy. Just imagine how her life is gonna go. When she's at McDonald's and they're trying to call out her name, we have a meal for Abkadah. Abkadah. Are you here? At least her name will always be first when they're doing things in alphabetical order because her name literally is the alphabetical order. But before moving on from this baby name part, let me just quickly go through all the other insane Gen Z baby names I've heard. I've met a kid named after a font. Not any particular font, no. Their name was quite literally just font. I've met someone with the name L'Oreal, which honestly, that sounds kind of cool. But it also is just the name of a skincare brand. But the name that takes the cake for me, the one that I still can't say without laughing, is one you will never guess. Because I met someone with the name B''cuz. It was literally spelled like this. Like, do these parents know that these kids are gonna have to have the names when they get older too? You can't be a 75-year-old man with the name Rocket. But it's not just experiences I've personally had with Gen Z parents that makes me know we're the reason the kids are cooked. I see it online all the time too. People having no idea how to be parents. There was literally a video posted last week from a Gen Z parent that made my jaw drop. The parent looked extremely stressed. And the video is her talking about how she struggles raising her child because she wants to go to bed earlier than the child does. So my immediate thought was, dang, how early is this mom trying to sleep? But then I found out this woman goes to sleep at midnight, which means her baby is staying up later than that. 3 years old, staying up past midnight. That kid should be mid-REM sleep at that time. What are you even giving it to not be tired until past midnight? Are you putting Red Bull in its milk? And listen, I want to make something very clear. I'm not saying I would be a better parent. I think I'm the prime example for why my generation may not be ready to parent yet. Like, I babysat my nephew one time, and I was going into it pretty confidently. How hard can it be to take care of a child for one night? But then he needed his diaper changed. And that's when it occurred to me, I've never changed a diaper before. So I did the only thing I could think to do. I turned on my ChatGPT camera and I had it guide me step by step on how to change a diaper. I still don't think I did it right because little homie kept crying even after I changed it. But I did the best I could. But now let's address the elephant in the room. The main reason I would be a terrible parent right now is because I'd be a horrible influence on the kid. And the reason for that is I still want to do everything a kid wants to do. Like, if my kid asked me to stop at McDonald's on the way home, I would never say no. They literally just start to say the words, can we? And I'd already be turning into that Golden Arches parking lot. Not because I'm being a nice dad, it's because I want McDonald's. The kid would just be my excuse. My kid would think he's the luckiest person alive, getting McDonald's every day. In reality, it's just because his dad has a chicken nugget addiction. And the McDonald's thing is just the start of it, because everything I do as a parent would secretly be for me. Bedtime? There is no bedtime, because I'm up late too. You want to stay up till 2 a.m.? Me too. Let's turn on some Netflix. You don't like eating vegetables? Buddy, I don't eat them either. So how am I gonna sit there and lie to my kid's face about how good broccoli is? My kid would have the diet of a college freshman and the sleep schedule of a raccoon, and I'd be right there in it with him. Both of us, two dummies raising each other. I wouldn't be a dad. I'd be a slightly bigger roommate who happens to be old enough to drive him places. Now, I may have said some things that make you scared for the future in this video, but by far, what I'm about to tell you next should make you much more scared than anything I've said before. Because here's the situation. AI is getting good, like scary good, really fast. Every few months, it can do something new that it couldn't do before. And if you've seen any movie ever, you know how this goes. At some point, the robots get too smart, they decide they don't need us anymore, and they take over the world. And since AI is getting really good right now, I'd probably give us about 20 years before they fully try to take over the whole world. So when that day comes, when the machines rise up and humanity has to make its final stand, who's defending us? Who's on the front lines? These kids. They will be taking on the super intelligent robot army. Picture it. The fate of the human race is on the line, and our greatest soldier is 16-year-old whose only experience in fighting is in GTA servers, and he's up against the Terminator. Our only hope is that the robots just feel bad for us. Hopefully they'll see how cooked we are without them taking over and just spare us. I know I won't be spared in the fight against robots, unfortunately. I mean, if you could see some of the things I've said to my ChatGPT robot, you would want me arrested for emotional abuse. And you would hope that there would at least be some super genius kids that come out of this younger generation. Usually, when kids are growing up and you ask what they want to be when they get older, they say things like astronaut, doctor, professional athlete. Now, they all say they want to be a YouTuber, which I don't understand. Who would ever want to be a YouTuber? Like, that's the most dumb career ever. Okay, no, obviously, I'm joking, guys. I see why people want to be YouTubers. It's one of the coolest jobs in the world. If you ever see a content creator complaining about how this career is so hard or how it's harder than a real job and people who are creators just don't understand it, don't believe them. I've never had a real job, so I couldn't tell you if it's harder than a normal one, but I can tell you that this job is pretty sick. But anyways, the reason I brought this up is because we need kids that want to be doctors, engineers, scientists, not YouTubers. I contribute nothing to society. I can tell you for a fact that us YouTubers would be useless if we had to fight the robots. So please, guys, at least some of y'all need to give us hope for the future. I don't think all hope is lost, though, because I have a solution for us to fix the younger generation. It's not to take their phones away, because it's too late for that already. If you tried taking a child's phone, you'd probably leave with one less finger than you woke up with that day. But what the kids love is games on their phones and iPads. So my plan is to create an app that pays you to not use your phone. For every minute your phone is shut off, you make 1 cent. That may not sound like a lot of money to the average person, but for kids, that could add up. Now, who's gonna actually be the one paying people for not going on their phone? I don't know, but it definitely ain't gonna be me. So if any really rich people are watching this and they'd like to fund this project, DM me. Actually, let's be honest. If any rich person was to give me money, I'm keeping it for myself. I ain't making that app. So I guess this generation is just gonna be cooked.
Yo, stop scrolling for a second, since a bunch of people...
Thank you for watching today. And like and subscribe. Bye. Have a good day.